Welcome to INNOV-8 Presents Entrepreneurs in Tech. Today, we're delighted to have a friend and a guest. Obviously, I have to say one thing that I'm really honored to have him on the show. Somebody I wanted to have on the show for a while. So we managed to work it out. Extremely busy. A young entrepreneur, definitely. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. This man doesn't stop. He's everywhere, all over social media. I seen him ever posting on Instagram, on TikTok, traveling the world, traveler, outspoken, and many, many things. I don't want to spoil the interview, but you know what? I'm going to let him talk. So I'm going to introduce him. Tareq Risheq. He's the founder and the CEO of a tech company called Biovera. He's based out of California. Thank you for getting up early and meeting with us. I know California's a bit behind, a couple of hours, but again, before we start, if you don't mind, telling us a bit about yourself and before we dive into it, because I think it's going to be an extremely inspiring story for everybody in all ages. You definitely have how should I say, something that people will use as an example to look up to and to follow. So, Tareq, please give us a small introduction and we're going to dive right into it, because I'm excited to hear the story, to hear more about your innovation and everything else you're doing.
Thank you, Bob. Very kind. Let me just correct you. I don't know about everything you said is pretty accurate, except the word young. So let me just
young in heart, young in mind.
At heart, for sure. I have 4 kids and 3.5 grandkids. The half, basically, is being cooked. Anyway, basically, and I was born in Jerusalem. I'm a Palestinian Ordini, but I grew up in Kuwait until 15, and at 15 I moved to Illinois and went to college there at a young age. Kharajt at 20, graduated, and then moved to California in 1990, and I've been an entrepreneur ever since. I was married very young, and I had kids at a young age. It was very tough because I've never really had a job in my life. I've always been hustling and trying to make deals and export products around the world. And yes, I had tremendous successes and tremendous failures, which is very common. And it's been interesting. Yani, some of my successes are Entrepreneur of the Year in 2014. I have about 15 patents. I have many startups, taking companies public. Have done it all basically. But one of my biggest successes, I don't think you know anything about this, Bob, is in 1998 or 99. I took a vacuum cleaner, an American vacuum cleaner called Rainbow. And I traveled the world, and everywhere I went, they were very, very successful. In Poland, in Portugal, in Switzerland, in the Philippines, they were making like 3,000 sales a month, 4,000 sales a month, 2,000 sales a month of a machine that was $2,000 worth at that time. So they're all making like 50, 60 million a year around the world, everywhere. Yeah,
wow.
but it wasn't available in the Middle East, or it was very casually. I said I want to do that, and at that time I didn't have money. So it took me 2 years to get the money, like pitching people in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. 2 years until I sold my first machine. And the guy in Saudi Arabia said, yes, I will do this, but you have to come to Saudi Arabia and bring your kids with you and family. So anyway, I went there, and they were kind. They advanced me the money, and it was really, really rough. I brought 10 salespeople from Lebanon. They all went back to Lebanon after a month or two. They couldn't handle it. And we started from zero again. So the first month we did 2, and then 6, and then 9, and then 0 for 2 months. It was really, really tough. And then eventually we got to 100. And within 4 or 5 years, I was number 1 in the world. We used to do 4,000 a month. And
4,000 pieces, 4,000 vacuum cleaners a month.
At 2,000 a pop. So we did over 100 million a year, and that was and that kept and then I sold my share and retired, and did the Southern California thing, got the yacht and got the beach house and got khalas. We retired, and then something called divorce happened in California.
It wasn't to your best interest. It wasn't to your best interest.
God. Yeah. So after the divorce, I had to start over, to be honest with you. But now I have something extremely exciting. If you want me, I can get into it.
We're going to get into it in a minute. Absolutely. That's why you're here. Entrepreneurs in Tech. You're going to... But let me ask you one thing. From your recent and latest innovation and inventions, I notice it's focused in technology. And I shouldn't say this, but most people who kind of take that path, they pretty much have the educational tech knowledge background. And I came across few who never did, who didn't, and I was impressed. And I think I'm gonna add you to that category. You went to school for any technology?
No, no, it was a business major, but Bob, I've always been working for high tech. Like I was a consultant for Qualcomm in the mid '90s. So I got involved in the in the CPUs and hardware and software and in wireless technology. So I had a background in wireless, and I've always been in the technology world. One of my startups was Celllinks, and basically my neighbor came to me and says, Tarek, I have this idea of boosting signals for cell phones. And he had the technology, and I had the know-how. So he came over and pitched me on the idea, and we went and raised venture capital money. Within 1 month, I had a term sheet of $12 million with a venture capital.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we developed that product, and we got acquired, and the company went public. Well, I do have somebody has to be the source of the technology, except this one, the last one. It was me, 100%. I created the technology, and if you want, I can get into it now if you like.
Please. This is all about you, Tarek. All about you, buddy.
Okay.
You know, that's what
Thanks.
you're here. Yes.
So about 2 years ago, and I was living in Laguna Beach, and my daughter and my son were living with me, and they graduated. So I was an empty nester in Laguna Beach, sitting on the beach, and I'm like, there's more to life than Southern California, and I never really lived in the Middle East, yeah, until I was 15, and then I don't know it. I don't know Jordan, and my mom lives in Jordan, and my older brother is sick. He has dementia, and my extended family. So I moved to Jordan about 2 years ago, and about a year and a half ago, and I loved it. I had a great, nostalgic being, and just being around family and friends. Not much work, but more nostalgia. But then I felt horrible for my older brother because he had dementia, and I wanted to get into the source. And the source was that he had severe apnea and snoring all his life. And when you snore and have apnea, basically you're cutting off the oxygen to your brain, correct? And if you don't have oxygen in your brain dies. And if you don't generate nitric oxide, which dilates the blood vessels, your brain will slowly die. And that's exactly what happened to him. And I thought there must be a better solution. And that's when I came up with Biovera. And Biovera, basically, I can get into it. I just sent the samples today. I don't know if you saw my video yesterday. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. I did
I
not.
posted a pretty funny video. If you guys want to see the video, it's on Instagram, and it's my first initial and my last name, T Risheq at Et Risheq, basically on Instagram. And I went and actually, I actually bought these yesterday just to show the difference. And this is a CPAP machine. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I seen it online.
Yeah.
It's like going underwater. It's like
So this is
going
what
diving.
this is what this is what people use right now for CPAP. This is what my
Wow.
brother used, and they put it like this, and they sleep with that. Can you believe that? Anyway, and they have a hose here connected to a vacuum cleaner or something, or hair blow dryer or something. Anyway, it's a huge industry. It's about a $5 billion industry for one company. It's about 10 billion altogether. And I said there must be a better solution. So I invented a product. I invented a product that does all the technology right here in the nasal path here. And basically, what I did is I generated. When your phone vibrates, when you get a phone call and your phone vibrates, there is something called coin vibrating waters in there. So those are generic. I mean, you can buy them for 50 cents a dollar. And so I thought of it. When you have a pipe that's clogged, what do? You bang it. It opens, right? When you have a salt shaker that doesn't work, you bang it, ketchup bottle, whatever. And so
Correct.
when you create some friction, basically it separates the atoms. They go back to the positive or negative state. So I did that, and I tried them. I brought I bought them from Jordan, and I put one here and one here, and I got a lot of pictures to show you and videos. I put one here and one here, and I let them vibrate for 30 seconds, and you wouldn't believe what happened. They opened up like crazy, and I was breathing like unbelievable. And if you and then I put them in a strap, and I put a microphone in it, also 50-cent microphone, and I put some bone induction technology in it, and I bought the ESP32. ESP32 is a very, very common chip. You can buy it anywhere. and it has everything in it. It has Bluetooth, it has Wi-Fi, it has a processor, and then I bought a driver, and put them all on a strap, and I had a sleeping mask, and I got the sleeping mask. I got the sleeping mask. I cut the eye section out with the scissors, and opened it. وحشيتهم زي المحشي. I stuffed them in, all right, in the battery, and I put it around, and then I tested it, and I put the board. I put them all. I saw them all in the board. And I tested it, and whenever I snored, it activates. And I did the firmware, believe it or not. And the firmware today is easy. It's really easy because all you have to do, I don't know if there's technical people out there, all you have to do is just basically tell ChatGPT or Claude or whatever what software you want, what you want the ESP32 to do, and it does it. So I downloaded the firmware, and it worked. So I created the product. And then from Jordan, okay, I said, okay, I did the product already. The product is fantastic. If you snore, it activates, and it stops you from snoring. If you don't snore, if you have apnea, it will activate and let you breathe. And then so I had the prototype, and now I did a lot of ChatGPT images and a lot of AI presentation, and I called from Jordan. I sent over 1,000 emails, Bob, to the Metas and the Amazons and every medical company out there, Philips, you name it, till 5 o'clock in the morning every night in Jordan. And over 1,000, I'm not kidding. And guess how many responses I got?
Out of 1,000, how many?
How many do you think?
Let's see. Would I say about for every 100? Let's keep it. Let's be conservative and positive. For every 100, did you get about 5? For every 100 emails, 5?
Bob, I got 0. From
Okay.
1,000 pitches, emails,
Okay.
I got.
I was gonna say
0
5
response.
emails, 1 for every 100, but then I said let me be nice and say 5. Yes.
0.
Yes.
0. Nobody.
I'm with it. Yes. Nobody cares.
So,
Well, maybe sometimes they don't get the emails too.
Well, it's junk mail. Basically, it's considered junk mail. Yani, when you
Yeah.
get a junk mail, do you open it?
Yes.
So no,
yes.
but
no,
I
no,
told-
no.
it wasn't a robot. It was me emailing them. So it wasn't really a machine.
Yeah.
But so nobody cared. So I was like, what the heck? What do I do? So I was scratching my. I know it's an amazing, fantastic product, Yani, but nobody cared. You could do 2 things. You can cry or you can try again.
Yeah.
Most
Yes.
people cry, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is not working. I gotta go find something else. No, I didn't. I looked around. I said, do you know how athletes have agents, actors have agents? I was like, is there something as an inventor agent, like someone like that can promote your IP? And apparently there was, and there's the biggest ones are all in New York, and I got an email from. I reached out to them, and they answered. Both of them answered. They said they love what I'm doing, and they signed me up. And as I'm signed up to them, like we signed up the deal, and they get 20% of your royalty, whatever, your license. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from who? I get a call from the guys that make the CPAP machine that I just showed you, the CPAP. And their market, they're called ResMed, RESMED. They're out of San Diego, and their market value is about 40 billion, and they do about 5 billion a year in CPAP machines. And my product could make them obsolete. 70% of their revenue is early and mild apnea and snoring, and that's exactly what I do. So they were terrified. So I had 6 calls with them, and we were talking about the deal. I was still in talks right now for ResMed. And then out of nowhere, Meta comes through. And Meta, I asked my agent, call Meta. Meta is interested because another embodiment of my product is the nose pads. I can put all the technology right on the nose pads. So the Meta glasses guys are very interested. They want to acquire it. And then I got a call from Amazon. And Amazon wants it for driver fatigue because there are studies out there where if you generate 120 hertz frequency of vibrations right here on the nose, you extend. It's like taking half an hour nap. And there's scientific studies there and white papers out there. They're all on the website. Just by putting it here on vibration, if it senses fatigue, or senses that you've been drinking alcohol, or senses that anything like that, it activates. First, it tells the head office, then it gives you that boost so you can drive into a safe
Amazing.
place.
I mean, speaking of Amazon, don't Amazon now they have driveless vehicles or trucks or delivery without a driver to avoid such things?
Yeah, but it's all prototypes in theory. It's not the mass. Amazon has a million drivers. They're yeah. And eventually, yeah, the day will come. Of course, everything is going to be
Yes.
autonomous one day. One day, but right
Yeah.
now it's not. Right now it's all.
It's not.
But anyway, no. Amazon just came up with Amazon driver glasses because right now with the drivers, if a driver delivers a package, he has to physically take his phone out, take a picture, and send it. That takes about 30 seconds. If you put 30 seconds for a million drivers, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of time. So now they came up with glasses, and those glasses have directions, and they also have they take a picture of the delivery, all seamlessly.
You can insert your technology in the glasses.
Exactly. So that's why Amazon is talking to me right now. Plus, the license game is cool. Yeah, and I can license the sleep apnea, snoring to ResMed. I can license the fatigue to Amazon, and I can license the biometrics, what Aura does, and Whoop. Aura is valued at $11 billion, and all they do is monitor. Whoop is valued at $9 billion. All it does
I know about this brand Whoop, and I was shocked. Like, what did they do so different?
Yeah.
Just a bracelet. But didn't Nike come up with something like this years ago?
Yeah, and Nike failed. Nike did the ring. The Whoop, the band. And,
Yeah, the band, the rubber
yeah.
band. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the guy that has the Whoop is an Egyptian guy. His name
Egyptian
is,
guy. Yep, I read about him. A really great entrepreneur. They
Will
just raised
Ahmed.
500 million. I think they just raised
Yeah.
500 million or something. Yeah.
Will Ahmed is a Harvard squash player, and his mom and dad
Yeah.
are Egyptian professors. And but my point is, all they do is monitor. Same with Aura. Aura is Tom Hale. Tom Hale spoken to me many times. Tom Hale, Aura is valued at 11 billion. Now here's the catch: they're sensing REM sleep from here, and they're sensing it by trying to get the brain frequency and brain activity from here to here. So it doesn't really work. The way they do it, Bob, is by pattern recognition, not by actual.
So you really
brain
need to be
frequency.
close here, the way you
So
did
we,
it. Here.
so
Here.
the way we do it, we monitor 100 times better. We're real time, and the catch is not only do we monitor, we heal, we treat. If Aura is valued at 11 billion and Whoop is valued at 9 billion, we can dwarf what they're doing right now in this market cap and what we can do. So that's what we're doing. But here's the catch: for licensing, I can wait for them to come to me, or I can become the next player myself. So instead of just waiting, Bob, less than a week ago, 5 days ago, I said, screw it, I'm going to start making these myself and selling them. And whenever they're ready, they can come. Okay, because all I had is proof of concept and prototypes and an IP, but I didn't have the actual sales. So about less than a week ago, I started advertising on Instagram and TikTok. And within the first day, I think I got 50 sales. We're doing over 100 sales right now. Pre-sale for 90 days. And it's taken off. So now we're generating revenue. So we're known, and I spoke to China, we're manufacturing. We're going to have FDA in 90 days. We're doing the trials as we speak right now. We are basically going into business and not just sitting back waiting for the big boys to come. Now,
And
which
you own the
gives us
patent on
much
it.
more. I own everything 100%.
And you own the patent on it, correct? You own the patent.
Yeah, I own everything 100%. Yeah. So instead of just waiting for the big boys, I'm doing it myself. And when they come, now they're going to see sales, they're going to see revenue, they're going to see proof of delivery, they're going to see an actual product. It's different than just buying an IP.
But you're still talking. You have 3 companies you're talking to. You're talking to Amazon, you're talking to Meta.
Yeah, but I
and
can't,
you're talking
Bob.
to-
I can't just wait and wait on forever. I have to. It's been
Yeah.
6 months.
Oh,
and we have to make a living. And why should I wait? The more I sell, the higher my valuation goes. Because now there's sales, there's IP, there's proof of concept, there's customers, there's there's proof of sales, there's traction. Because a lot of those people say, okay, you have a great patent, but will this sell? That's also always a big question. And once you show traction, and sales. Now your valuation went 100x. Instead of you worth 50 million, you're worth 500 million, or even billions.
Wow, wow. I mean, I have to say, one of the best things you did, beside, registering the patent, creating it, being an entrepreneur, being active and on top of it, is actually connecting with that agent in New York.
Yeah, the agent is extremely important. Now, the agent told me that every morning when he shows up in his desk, he has over 100 pitches every single morning. So
Wow.
everybody wants an agent. It's very, very difficult to find an agent and to get
And
them
they don't
to
charge you
touch
upfront money; they just take 20%.
you know. Yes,
Wow. Would you reveal the name of the agency for our listeners and users to
absolutely.
know who they?
Yeah, sure, sure. It's called ICAP, ICAP out of. It's called ICAP Patent Brokers out of New York, and the guy that I'm using is Bob Greco,
Bob Brooklyn.
GRCO.
Okay. Well, definitely, for
Sorry,
sure,
Paul Greco. Paul Greco.
Paul
Sorry.
Brooklyn. Absolutely. You're a true entrepreneur, I have to say. One of the things that interests me is I seen it online, and I bought it, but I don't have it yet. I'm waiting for it. But I listened to what you were saying, and I seen it when you presented it. I think it was on TikTok or Instagram. I don't remember. But I said, wow, I really like this. This is easy. It looks like a piece of feather on your face. So you don't have to have a diving mask or a spaceship helmet on your head when you go to sleep. This is so great and light and easy and seamless. It's all about convenience and all about, being things that are easy to carry and to use. And then you immediately, the next day, sent an email. And it wasn't a robotic email that's done by, an agent, an AI agent. No. An automated email. No. With your name as the inventor, the founder, the CEO, and you put your personal number and you said, anything, please call me and reach out. Like, wow. How often you buy a product and the actual owner himself send you a personal email with his people say, hey, don't leave your phone number, you gotta get text spam and no, but this is the old way. This is the proper way. This is how people succeed. And this is one of the main, I would say, recipes and ingredients to success and being a true entrepreneur. You personally involved and reaching out and extending your hand and say, hey, call me if there's a problem. That's my number. That's my full name. Yes, I'm available anytime you want to talk. WhatsApp, regular number, whatever you are in the world, call me. And I did took advantage of this and I reached out and I called you. And I'm like, now this guy is a true entrepreneur. That's why one of the things that kind of intrigued me also to bring you on this show, I say, I need to share his experience, his advice, his insights, and what inspired him. But, obviously, you said you are not young, but you are young. And because the way you think, you don't stop, obviously. I always see you active on social media. You're having fun, you comment, you're always smiling. I never see you angry. I never seen you cursing at anybody. You might say certain things, you speak your mind, but you stay also within your limits, being respectful to others and everybody else. But definitely so much positivity comes out of you constantly. You're
Thank you,
very,
thank you.
very positive. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, that's very, very kind of you. It's like you said, we did get a school education, but we have the education of our culture and our life and our people. We are much more friendly, hospitable. I mean, I went to Jordan. I've never lived in Jordan. The way our culture is, you speak to a taxi driver, and within half an hour, you pull over and have a coffee with him, and then he invites you to his home, and then anybody you meet, anywhere I go, when we have workers doing something in our ranch in Jordan, the first thing we do is we go and we get them coffee and tea and cake and biscuits and invite them over to lunch and make sure they're happy every single time. This is not the exception. This is what we do. I mean, here when it's a much warmer culture that we have. The way we were raised, the way we. I mean, here it's if someone is fixing your bathroom, you don't go and buy them coffee, and you just finish your work and you leave. It's very cold, and I'm not making fun of the culture, but that's the culture. So it's how we're built. We're built to be much more friendly
Yeah,
Some people,
warm and hospitable. Warm and
yeah,
hospitable.
yeah.
Absolutely.
In this country and in the West, usually it's much colder, and it's not knocking them. That's how
Well,
they were
well, you're
raised.
bringing it to California, buddy. You bring it to Southern California. I always seen you.
Yeah,
I never seen you alone. I seen you with a bunch of people, either on a boat or on the beach, but you're always somewhere close to the water and nature behind
that's
you.
true.
Always. Yes.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah.
where the innovative mind comes. But I mean, have you ever thought of stopping? What keeps you going? What motivates you? What makes when you get up every morning and say, "Hey, I'm doing this." Hey, beside being how should I say? I don't want to say a streamer, but somebody who an influencer. You are an influencer, actually. You have a lot of following, large following on Instagram and on TikTok. What keeps you going? Like, I want to do this.
Bob,
Plus, being innovative. What keeps you
well,
always
there's two
thinking?
questions. Two questions. Yesterday, the day before, I was in San Diego. Randomly, we had a meeting. My friend, and again, this is how we work. My friend is American, Mike Ward, and he wanted a job. An American guy, Dan Smith, wanted looking for somebody. So I spent 3 days taking them to San Diego, all on my dime, introducing them, of course, with nothing in return. But regardless, we walked into a pizza place for lunch, and the guy came to me and he was like, "Are you Tare?" And he got so excited, and like for an hour he couldn't stop talking. I mean, and then the next day I was like standing in line, "Tare, are you Tare?" And I love what you do. Keep doing it. This is what keeps me going because people love it, and because a lot of times I do so many shows, I do one or two a day sometimes, and I'm like, "Is this worth it?" It's so much work, and there is no I don't monetize it at all. It's just basically it's a lot of work to what I do, and the travel around the world and everything. So I do it when I see people's reaction. It's like right away after I see someone's reaction, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do more shows because I don't feel it. I mean, when I do them, I don't know if the message is getting across, if anyone's even listening. Yes, there's a lot of followers, but you don't know if they're just scrolling there, like, and I don't get to see the reaction. But when I see it, it's magical, and that's what pushes me to do more. And there's plenty where that came from. بالنسبة that's regarding why I do the shows. Regarding technology, it's out of necessity. Every time I come up with something, يعني for my older brother, he's 3 years older than me, seeing him with severe dementia, and the fact that he can't even put a jacket on, he can't even eat, he cannot put a sentence together. Haram.
Kidding me?
This,
Wow.
yeah, he got dementia because of what I just told you, because there was no oxygen. So that one came out of necessity, out of finding a solution for my brother and people like my brother. It came out of subconsciously. I said, like, there has to be an easier way to do it. And I see him carrying his CPAP machine and the machine and the airports and like slugging it all over the world. And I felt bad for him. And so that's what the invention came. Now, yes, there has been so many. I mean, the cell phone signal booster, it was because, there was a need. So it always comes from a need. And the brain is non-stop regarding innovations. Every time I see something, I always think there has to be a better way. It's exhausting, but I love it. For example, in 2002, I came up with an iPad about 7 years before Apple, and I
Kidding me?
came with the app. I call it an HDA, Home Digital Assistant, and mine was much better than an iPad because not only it was an iPad, and it was written up in the Wall Street Journal. Walt Mossberg wrote about it. It was all over the world. It was on the cover of Time magazine, not the cover, inside Time magazine, and all the magazines really. And I produced it, and mine was better because it was on an angle. So when you put it on the fridge, the keyboard is sticking out, and when you put it on a table, the screen is sticking out. So but it had a keyboard. So I came up with an iPad way before I created where is my keys? Yeah, in a few years later, I came. See, here's what happened. I was in the gym and I wanted to go to a class, and I forgot my code for my locker. Had to be Orange County. And I'm like, shit. So I called the maintenance. You have to wait till the engineer comes. Engineer, really? It took about half an hour to open my locker. And by then I missed my class and my game. So I was like, okay, fine. At night, I came and I wanted to access my bank account in China, HSBC. And for some, tried too many times. I lost my password. Now I have to reset my password in flipping China. I have to send them notarized documents and DHL and signed documents just to reset my password. So I'm like, I have to find a solution. This is nuts. And while sitting here with this, my keychain, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. I came up with the idea. I said, why isn't your keychain or your fob has a fingerprint sensor, it has a screen, and has all your passwords on it, and all your important information, passport number, social security, whatever, in there, and no one can access it, right? Because it's your fingerprint. And I came up with this product, and I called it my ID key, and I put it on Kickstarter, and it was, I think, the 10th or 15th most successful Kickstarter ever at that time. We sold $500,000, 5,000 units. Again, that one went viral. It was all over the world. But that, again, is out of a need because of what happened.
Did you end up selling the company or the brand, the product, or the invention?
You know,
What
that
happened?
one that one had a interesting ending. So we raised $500,000 from the Kickstarter. We used that to raise another 3 or 4 million. I had a board of directors of 5. I was one of 5, and we had 5 million in the bank. And then we decided to bring a top-notch CEO, and he came and he brought all his team. Which is what happens. CEOs usually have their engineers, their marketing people, whatever. And they came over, and I was like, okay, you guys are professionals, you do it. I'll hang out. And the guy was burning about $400,000-500,000 a month. And there's
That's
something
it.
in technology. There's something in
That's
technology
it.
called feature creep. Feature creep is one of the worst things you can do when you keep improving the product so much that you never have a product. Like that's what they do now in the wars with mission creeps. It keeps getting bigger and bigger, and so the guy kept burning 500,000 a month or so. By then, the 5 million were gone in 10 months, and like, okay, we need more money. I'm like, oh my gosh. So they wanted us all to put money in it, and the guy fired all my team. Eventually, he fired me because I was disruptive in the meetings. Like, just sell the product that we already sold on Kickstarter, but he couldn't. He kept re-engineering, and the company went bust.
Oh, yeah, burning through cash and bringing people who are way overqualified to something that was done through hard work and
Just
innovation.
execute, yeah, execute, yeah.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. You know, Tariq, I mean, yes, there's a lot to talk about, obviously, but a couple of things I want to go over. With the acceleration of AI and data centers using energy and using water, and is it overhyped? Is it overpriced? Is it accelerating at a speed that it's at a massive cost to humanity and many things?
What do I think of AI? Is that your question?
Well, where's it going, and the way it's accelerating,
Well,
and the effect on humanity? Yeah.
right now it's in a very good place. I love everything about AI right now. Of course, what's happening is the future is where things could be where you get singularity. That's when it's scary, and that's when basically they start to think on their own, and there's already proof of that. And that's when it starts to eliminate us. I don't mean eliminate us like physically. I mean out of the conversation, because now AIs they have their own social networks.
Yeah, what's the name
AIs
of it?
they
That
have.
social platform? There's a
I don't
name.
know
Is
the
it
name of it.
Is it Malt?
I
No,
don't know.
Malt is something else also involved. I think they have their own platform too.
I don't know, but they have their own network. They're talking and they're excluding us. We're not even allowed to go in, and a lot of them are. So when it gets to that level, especially when you add that to robotics with Artemis and whatever, and then when you have intelligence 100 times better than us, who knows what they can do? I mean, I mean, we are basically we are the chimpanzees and they're the humans.
But obviously,
A
things like
lot-
this doesn't happen on their own. This is all by design. You know, this whole network, it didn't just was created on its own.
It was. That's the
It wa-
problem. That singularity. Yes, when they created a flippant religion. They have a religion. So my point, that's what I mean by singularity. That's when we are not involved in what they do. They are the humans and we're the monkeys right now in
Can we
terms of their
stop it?
intelligence.
Can we
That's
stop
my
it?
point. That's my point. You can say, okay, just unplug them. Okay, you can't
Correct.
unplug them. You can't because they find a way. They can blackmail us. They are these cloud based data centers are all connected to unique and power stations that are impossible to hack. They can have it's all controlled by it's not like a switch you can go on and off. Okay, again they can threaten us. They can blackmail us in terms of like secrets that they have on us. They can remember when something is 100 times smarter than you. How do you know what they're gonna
100
do?
is it's more like 1,000 times smarter and faster, a million
Right.
times
So
faster.
that
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's scary because it's the unknown. We don't know, and always when you release power control, now you're under their mercy. But that's the scary part. But for now, while we're alive, I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I use Claude. Claude, by the way, is by far the best one. I use
Is it
Claude
Claude?
and yeah, Anthropics. But the others, Grok is very good. But use it for everything, and why not? Yeah, why not? Yeah, I'll give you an example. I'm in a hotel right now, and the night before I got a problem with the thermostat. Like it's too cold or too hot. Just before I went to bed, what's the most comfortable temperature to set your thermostat at? And it told me. I use it. It's there for you. Use it for everything in life. A lot of people use it for relationship advice. A lot of people use it for uh, advice and everything. But absolutely use it, and it's a gift for all of us at this stage.
Interesting. I like it. I like what you're doing. I wanted this conversation really, again, could go on for hours, but my final question to you, what's your advice for a lot of the young entrepreneurs and who's starting out, who, don't know what direction to take? Should I go to school? Is AI going to take over my job? Should I be an entrepreneur? What do I do?
Okay, number one advice I give them is get off the computer. Get off your Game Boy. Get off your, I date myself, Game Boy. Get out of the house. Bump shoulders with people. That's the number one thing for anything to happen in your life. Just get out of the house. Your biggest enemy is staying indoor, watching TV or playing games or whatever you do, social media. Get out, bump into people, talk. One thing leads to the other always. That's number one. Number two, entrepreneurship is the hardest thing you can do in your life. In my stories that I just gave you, the rainbow in Saudi Arabia, that took me 2 years before I sold the unit. 2 years. Can you handle being without money, without income, getting rejected over and over and over, traveling the world, meeting with people for 2 years with no income? Can you handle that? Can you handle being broke? Can you handle being homeless? Can you handle being rejected over and over all your life? Because making it is easy, keeping it is harder. Trust me on that. Especially at a young age, people get excited or they think they're going to make money forever, and things become obsolete before you know it. Especially in technology, your technology could be amazing right now. Enjoy it for 3 years, 2 years, it's going to be history. So you're going to do this over and over and over. So my advice is that yes, if you're willing to go with the highs and lows, if you're willing to sleep in sofas for 3 years, if you are willing to do that, do this. Okay? But if you're not willing and it's too rough and life is short and you want security and you want to be able to walk on the beach after 5 o'clock, not to think of business, then yes, go become a teacher or an engineer or do something stable. But my life is so hard. Yeah, the things that I went through, honestly, I don't think many people can. Yeah, when you're, especially, it goes up and down. Remember, and when it goes down for years. So you could be struggling for 3 4 years. Now the benefits of obviously are the biggest yachts, the trips around the world, all the luxuries that come with money. But again, they don't last. So if you think you're gonna make money and you're gonna stay up there, you're delusional because you are gonna go down. Yeah, this is the nature of what we do. It's seasonal. making money season. You get a great season, and then you're going to get a drought. But that's my advice for you. If you're willing to go through hell, then become an entrepreneur. And the days where you can be a billionaire in a couple of years, that's all a joke. Your chances of hitting by lightning are higher.
That's succeeding. Well, Tareq, I want to say, first of all, thank you, man, for taking the time and joining us here at Entrepreneurs in Tech. Really was a pleasure. And we're definitely going to stay in touch and talk more. For our viewers out there, stay connected with us. Stay also, connect with us on social media. And for everybody else out there, keep innovating. And just as Tareq said, if you're willing, if you have the resilience and you have the thick skin and you want it bad enough and you're hungry, go for it then. Because there's no time limit on it. You don't know if you're going to make it in 6 months or 6 years or 10 years. Nobody knows.
Right. And go to Biovera.ai and pre-purchase the Sanctuary band.
Tareq, it was a pleasure having you on the show, brother.
Sure.
Yes.
Habibi, thank you so much, Bob. Thank you, everybody. Again, my number will be there. Anybody can reach out to me anytime. And I'm Mawjood.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share INNOV-8 Presents Entrepreneurs in Tech podcast. And if you're joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.